you kill a motherfucker cold blood. I will articulate to fix the problem. And I'm the only man in the business here that's smart enough to do it. I have shot and killed in the line of duty 13 different people. I shot that 119 times. Okay? I mean, I saved 67 kids in a vehicle was shot 319 times. But he was hit 119 times by me.
By me. So there's a Lexington, a police chief in Lexington, Mississippi was caught on camera bragging about how many people he has killed and how he's killed them. And of course, you saw the language that he used in talking about those folks as if they weren't real people. There's other recordings from Chief Sam Dobbins is his name, bragging about getting away with those killings as well. Not just the fact that he shot an MFer 119 times and I got him, but that he got away with it. Which of course is part of the motivations, is reasons why he feels he can do these things. So this officer began to detail some of those cases that we heard there. And he's saying, I'm talking about a man had a gun, a man had to die. He described a shootout in a cornfield. Justified, bro, is what he said. I shot that N-word 119 times, okay? I saved 67 kids in a school. I chased this MFer across the field. I got him. He was DRT, dead right there, is what that means, in the field. The vehicle was shot 319 times, but he was hit 119 times by me. He said he was cleared at the sheriff's office where he worked at the time and received his gun back before he ever sat back down, something to brag about. When the subject arises of him talking to someone, he responded with homophobic slurs. I don't talk to effing queers. I don't talk to effing F words, as you can understand, is said there. Now, this audio was obtained by a fellow police officer that was sick of the culture and sick of the constant bragging, and maybe even the actions of shooting someone 119 times. Maybe it was that bothered him, but he's the one who was sick of this and that culture within the department. Let's watch some of this.
Audio obtained by the Mississippi Center for Investigative Reporting through civil rights organization JULIAN features a recording of Lexington Police Chief Sam Dobbins. The audio was obtained by another officer, Robert Lee Hooker, who called it, quote, appalling, racist, hateful, and detrimental to the welfare of the people. Hooker resigned from the Lexington PD last week, citing a toxic work environment. In late July, the Lexington Board of Aldermen voted to fire Dobbins. An interim police chief has since been appointed.
Yeah, more has gone from that. But the thing about this is it's for people who know or live in a small community like this, they understand who the police officers are. And apparently they've been talking about this guy for a while. Let's go to that. JULIAN founder, Jill Cohen Jefferson, said that she knows Dobbins well, and that it's definitely his voice in those recordings. She said the tape reflects a pattern of behavior by Lexington police that residents have shared in community meetings, detailing more than a dozen complaints against the police. Lifelong resident Shirley Gibson also accused police of breaking into her house on December 2nd. She said an officer caught me by my neck, slung me on the ground. They maced me not once, but twice. They jumped on my son, they hit him, they stomped on his feet, is what she told WLBT. I'm very terrified because this isn't the first time that they did this. They did not have a search warrant. So let's just break some laws and assault people as well. Jefferson said she hasn't seen this level of callousness since Bull Connor, the commissioner of public safety who used fire hoses and dogs on children protesting in Birmingham in 1963. She said the town of Lexington never shifted from Jim Crow like other small towns. We just stopped paying attention. That part wise, I think is very telling when it comes to all this. We hear about these stories all the time about police brutality, police being caught on camera and film saying racist things and bigoted things, and specifically about the people that they're supposed to be protecting, maybe policing and protecting the neighborhood. There's a bit of a division there, and every time we hear about who they really are, for some reason we don't connect it to exactly how they do their police work and how that transfers and the reasons why we're worried about this. But people have said it before. Look at the results. We don't say anything until someone finally gets it on tape of them actually saying it.
Yeah, and I want to admit first and foremost, I'm somebody who generally overrates the significance of, some individual hayseed, toothless in the middle of nowhere America who doesn't even live near black people and has bigoted thoughts, right? Like I tend to dismiss that kind of thing just on its face all the time. However, when it comes to, because And I want to say why. Like when it comes to an individual who might hold these terrible beliefs, like we have laws and we have protections on the books for people. And if that type of cat gets out of line, he will be dealt with. In the case of a freaking police officer, and more specifically a police chief who's espousing these kind of views and and bigotry, this is extremely problematic and scary, right? One, because cops are only held accountable by themselves. So there is no recourse when these dudes who have these bigoted feelings and are charged with policing a community of people, when they themselves get out of line. There is nothing to be done when they're the ones policing themselves. And then two, this guy's he's not just a cop, he's a police chief, which means that the culture of that institution flows downward from him. He's at the top. And so whatever culture he sets is gonna permeate the entire operation, and that's freaking scary. And that's why that dude has to go and might even need to be prosecuted. Who knows?
Yeah, this is a violation of his duty towards the community. People that you've assaulted within the community, and the people that you've allowed to have these types of scenarios happen within their own homes, as that one account is a violation of what you're supposed to be doing. It's a violation of your job. For some reason, more important jobs that actually affect larger communities are given less scrutiny than somebody working at McDonald's, bro. If you give away too many orders of medium fries to your buddies to drive through, you're going to get fired. For some reason, that doesn't happen when you shoot someone 119 times. And I had my gun back before I sat back down. For some reason, that's okay.